You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the March 4th meeting of the Michigan City Human Rights Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
There you go. Today's Tuesday, March 4th, Michigan City Human Rights Commission. I'm calling the meeting to order. First order of business, pledge allegiance, please rise. To the pledge allegiance. Marty, would you lead us, please?
Pledge allegiance to the
The
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the roll call. Mr. Marty Corley,
Present.
Miss Mary Ellen Quinn,
Here.
Albertine Allen,
Present.
Diana Gore, absent, Bunny Gemke,
Present.
Carol Borton here, Jamie Lorenz,
Present.
Tanya Walker, absent, Dennis Carroll, absent, Don Prevolinski.
I'm present, but I'm the liaison.
Okay, okay. And it's Mr. Sal Dunlap.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is approval of the minutes. You should each got a copy. You want to take a look at it and see if there's any corrections or...
Thank you.
Is there any corrections or
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
a second?
I second.
Mary Ellen seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion's been approved. Finance report, Bonnie?
I checked with Tatsumishi this morning, but I didn't hear back from her. But as far as I know, there were no changes to last month's. So the balance would be $5,984.95. I don't believe that did we have any expenses for the Black History?
Yeah, we did.
But I don't think they would have
No,
shown.
no.
So I believe that's correct. If not, I will amend it next month.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the finance report.
So moved.
Second.
Mary Ellen, Marty, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approved. Chair report. Only thing I gotta report on is each one of you got a text letter to it, a copy from the Michigan City Park Department for the nice donation of $200 from Shannon. That's my report. Council report.
Council doesn't have anything to report at this time.
Okay. Committee reports, Finance Committee.
Oh,
Oh.
Mr. President, yeah, if you could back up.
Okay.
Yeah. Tonight's council meeting, I'm going to announce the winners of the essay, right, essay, and the
Poster.
poster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Marty, yeah. Mr. Corley emailed me the winners, so I feel it's only right that they deserve the recognition, so I'm going to announce it.
100%. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to hear that.
Okay, yeah, one more thing on my chair report. I did send a copy to News Dispatch, but I did not add the children's names because I didn't know if the parents wanted their names in the paper or not. But it was just a group photo and just thanking everybody for being there. Okay, committee reports. Finance Committee we already did. Development Fundraising Committee.
Yeah, I have been in contact with a couple of the prospective caterers for our Human Rights Dinner. I'm very proud of the $5,984.95 we have in our treasury. However, we have to be careful that we're not going to spend money for this dinner because it could very easily wipe out. So I'm trying to be very vigilant as far as getting a good caterer, someone that is obviously going to do a fine job. But I personally, I know the price of food has gone up, but I don't want to see our treasury diminished because of this. We never know how many tickets are going to be sold. So I just want you to know that I am doing my very best to schmooze, so to speak, sometimes, and get the best deal that we can. As I've said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but Ed Kiss was so good to us for over 20 years as far as catering our affair and gave us such a good price. So I want you all to know that I'm gonna try my best to keep it reasonable. So,
Mary Ellen, is it a dinner or will it be like last time?
it's always
Heavy?
touted as the humanitarian of the year dinner, okay? Last time, since we didn't have it at the dinner hour, it was more of a luncheon, and that was fine. I thought it was very, very nice considering the time of day, but we've had it set as a dinner, which doesn't mean we're gonna have waiters bringing food to our table. We're still going to probably have a buffet line, which is very nice, but, and people understand that, but because of the time of day, evening, we call it a dinner.
Okay.
So, anyway, I just want you all to know that I will do my very best to get us a good price. Okay.
I have just something to add. I reached out to Leeds again because they did the cocktail of the month for us. I think it was last April.
Yeah.
They got us in the calendar for September
Wonderful.
this year.
Nice.
So they sent us in, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Education committee.
So I got two things to report. Actually, the Black History Month contest, we did the awards event, went well. Thank you to those who helped judge, Daryl, Ms. Allen, Bunny, and Jamie, who helped with the judging. Appreciate everybody's support on this, the whole commission on it. Again, I thought it went well. Just a little bit disappointed in the older ages. I guess the 9th and 10th, we only had one entry. And 11th and 12th, we had two. But again, I think, what we did have, we had some quality entries. The artwork was, as every year, you always get, good pieces, but you get a couple of those pieces that just kind of stand out to you, and you're like, man, they really put some work into that.
Do you still have them, or do you?
I do. You know what? No. We let most of them took theirs. Most of them took theirs back that one. In the years past, they kind of kept them. But
2 or 3, she asked us.
yeah, the mayor actually held 2 that she was gonna give back to them later, and they were ready. But it's 2 of them that she wanted to, I
Did
guess.
you take pictures of all of them?
We do have some pictures, yes. Yep, we do have pictures with every contestant holding their artwork or their essay. So, yep, we do have that. But again, good time. I mean, it turned out well with the participants and everybody getting recognized.
And what about the essays? I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Are they still available?
We do have copies of the essays. Yep, we do have copies. It was 2 essays and 1 was poetry. You know what? You guys didn't have to judge those because
7th and 8th?
7th and 8th grade, they
Very
did.
good
They had good participation. We have those essays too.
Are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
Well, Jamie and I have an idea for next year that might generate more interest from the older kids.
Okay.
We'll discuss.
All right. Yeah. Nice. Appreciate it. Definitely look forward to that. But we do have all the essays. 7th and 8th grade were primarily essays. The winners for the 9th, 10th, and 11th, 12th there's 2 essays and then 1 was poetry. So I still do have those entries.
Jamie and I were impressed with,
There was some very good contenders. It was difficult. Bunny and I went back and forth a few times before we narrowed it down. But overall,
Me and Miss Allen did too.
it was a wonderful experience.
I will say overall we have probably about 300 to 400 entries between the posters and the essays. So again, still great participation, and I think after not having it for 1 year, I think as we continue to become more consistent, we'll be back to our norm. Because the norm was it would literally take this whole room just to put out all the posters and things just to judge. So look forward to that. I do need, I guess after looking at it and thinking about it, I was able to order the gift cards because in the past Tanisha kind of took care of that, and I think even though in the past we had somebody from Horizon who would just take care of it. And so I got them ordered, but after thinking about it, because what's going to happen is Horizon's basically going to invoice us, and the controls officer cut them a check. We approved it, but we never approved the amount. So the total that we will be paying out will be $770, And so I think we probably need to get approval from the board, a vote. And so it's in our, as long as it's in our minutes, the controller's office allows that to be feasible for them to pay out for approval. So if I can get approval for the $770 to pay the participants their gift certificates for their awards.
Is that in the form of a motion?
Yes, please.
I motion.
Section second. I need a second. Oh, second, Bettina, okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, it's been approved, Marty.
Thank you. And so now that we have the Black History Month contest behind us, the next thing we'll be gearing up for is our scholarship. And I think we've already budgeted for, is it two $1,000 scholarships? We do the Hawkins Williams and then the Judy Hubert scholarships. So again, I have everything. I have the format already there. It's just a matter of getting it out to the schools. If there's anybody that have anything, extra they want to, things that we can help better or that we can do better to make sure that we get better participation, feel free to let me know. But I plan to get those out no later than the end of this month, probably in the next week or two. I send them out to the Michigan City High School. I usually do Michigan City High School and Marquette. I make sure that they get it too. So like I said, probably in the next week or two, because we're pretty close to that time. And I think traditionally we like to name the scholarships by the time of the dinner. And the dinner is May or June? June. So we have enough
12,
time.
yeah.
But I would like to get it where we could get those winners so that they can be recognized.
At the-
high school does a scholarship night where they recognize all their scholarship winners, and so we could be part of that process and be present and give them that also during that time. I don't know if we I guess probably want to do a motion for those funds too, or is it because they're budgeted? I know they're budgeted, but I'm maybe the motion needs to come after we select the winners
I
to.
think so.
Okay.
That's where we did it last year.
Write
Okay.
the checks to the
Yeah.
individual.
Maybe we need to have a fundraiser too.
I'm a little bit concerned just because I don't know about the catering. Like I say, I will be vigilant to keep it as cheap as I can, and hopefully people will sell tickets. But I think maybe it would be, I have no idea how much per plate we're paying the caterer. Maybe we should wait until the next meeting. It's up to you guys. All I know is if we don't have enough money to pay the caterer after we have the scholarships, we're gonna be in trouble. So just putting it out there.
Yeah, I don't think we need to approve it this month.
No, we don't approve the money, but when we send out the scholarship, we need to put the amount
Right.
that we're gonna pay on it. So I understand like not approving the money today, but are we still looking at doing $1,000 or do we need to?
Were we in the
That's what
budget
was
for that?
budgeted.
Yeah, we budget every year. I know we budget every year, but
What if we can get like a corporate sponsorship for the scholarships?
yeah,
If that maybe the best for minds and
Yeah.
no corporations or businesses that will help sponsor.
That's a good start. We've done that before.
Is the topic the same? And what is it about, what high school?
yeah. Traditionally, the topics deal with. You give
It's
me
a
one
kind of
second.
general thing about,
One is a disability, and that was named, Judy Huber's is how did you deal, or did you deal with a disability?
Disability. Yep.
Yeah, that was the theme for that one. And the other one escapes me.
You give me 1 second. I have them right here. Oh, it's right there. But I know I guess I won't say that.
I had the Judy Huber one here, but not the other one. The theme for, I think we used the same for both, and it says, the applicant will express through a personal essay what goals were achieved and what challenges and/or obstacles were overcome as a student. The applicant should also explain how he or she was able to serve others in the community. I
Yeah,
think we used,
so, but Hawkins Williams is a little bit different, just a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit, here, I have it right here. Hawkins Williams. If there was only one thing you could change about your high school experience, what would you change and why? Yeah, so I know it's a little bit different. So around the same lines. I will say this: every year when we do it, usually the applicants apply for both. So if the applicant applies for Hawkins Williams, they're gonna apply for Judy Huber, and they just kind of like tweak their essay to fit the topic. But you usually get applications for both from the same person. And again, in the past, we've had 2 or 3 to
Right.
12, 15. You know, it just kind of depends on that. I know one year myself, and when Jeff Deitch was the Human Rights Executive Director, we actually sat out the high school during lunchtime, and we're handing out the applications to get applicants. Again, scholarships are hit or miss with the kids. You'll get 1 or 2 kids who, you know, they're out there getting all of them. But I think sometimes we miss the core group of kids who, and not saying that nobody doesn't need the scholarship money, but those kids, because we come across sometimes, you got the kid who's already getting the Lilly scholarship or whatever, and now they're getting this too. And again, nothing against them, but then there's other kids who aren't getting anything, could use
Exactly.
it. And so, that might be an option for us to, you know, maybe have a table at the lunch to push it a little bit more. I think it would be nice to see more participation throughout the schools to get more get a more robust panel of applicants.
and they're made aware, I assume, by the counselors about like trade schools and technical schools are also.
Yeah, all that stuff is given to the counselors,
All
but
schools are eligible too.
yeah, all that stuff is given to the counselors, but you know, when you have 100+ different scholarships out there, you know, and you know, the counselors there, I think there's areas for the kids to come in and look and see, but as far as the counselors going one by each scholarship, I think that's, you know, where sometimes we can come in and do a little bit more, or just start advertising or whatever. So,
If I could say, back in the 90s, there was a scarcity of people submitting drawings, artwork in celebration of Martin Luther King's celebration. And I used to wonder then, I never did get into finding out exactly how they were going about reaching the kids to encourage them to participate. And listening here now that you have the same concern, getting the young folks involved, getting them past that fear of putting their thoughts on paper, which is something that we have all had to overcome. My interest also is encouraging their speech through some type of a young folk Toastmasters concept, getting them past that fear of public speaking, which is something that many adults haven't mastered, terrified to death from to speak. And how could possibly that be included in this whole effort here to generate interest through whatever artistic skill that they might have?
no, I think that's a possibility for the future to you know, have some type of maybe oral presentation for. I know in the past, I think when you know the scholarship winners have come, we've also asked them to read their scholarship entries, those who won, you know, at the celebration too.
Yeah, we would, Marty's correct, we would always do that at the dinner.
Yeah, we asked them for
We
that.
invited you to come up and share their
But maybe for 2026 when we plan it, you know, start planning to see how it's gonna work. Maybe we can do an oral contest instead of so much of a written. That might, you know, again, it might spark more interest. It might not, you know, depending on what, you know, kids have. It's just, I think it's really about the young people. I mean, I have a son that was a senior and he's in college, and it's, at some point you give your kids that buffer and you give them that, hey, you're an adult now, or you're old enough now to go and seek those things, right? I'm not holding your hand for them. And I think it just becomes, whether kids want to go out and, how much it takes mom and dad to say, hey, here's these scholarships, opposed to, hey, you go get the scholarships. Yeah. And again, not saying all kids are in that arena and aren't. It's just, I think that becomes a variable of the kids. I know in other things that we've done, when you talk about, the contests, especially the Martin Luther King, the Black History Month contest like that, I think it really comes down to this, like you'll have, so let's take Renaissance Academy for an example. That becomes part of their curriculum because of, the way they structure their curriculum. Their curriculum is a little bit different than what your average public school is going to use, because you have a curriculum there. They're able to set that in, so they are able to they have K through 8 and they have a lot of entries. But in the past also, it takes the teacher from, different grades to basically say, hey, we're going to invest our time in it. And that's when we got the most bang for our buck. And I think that becomes, some of the parables that we have to think about when in these contests is, not only getting it out to the kids, but getting investment from those teachers. So it's just about, it's a little bit different way of how we, we put it out there and who we actually, the client, the people who we actually say, hey, here's this contest, here's what we want to do, can you help us, get the participation? So it's not only just, getting to the kids, but it's also sometimes getting to the teachers and to the right teachers too. So
I wonder if the Human Rights Commission could put together a letter or something, I don't know if it's appropriate, and send it to the individual English teachers, history teachers at the high schools, personally, because they don't have time, they may not even catch what comes out of the counselor's office.
As far as you're talking about for the scholarships?
Yeah, just that they're available and to encourage their students to apply for it. Sometimes a personal thing like that makes the difference between whether or not a teacher's able to work it into their plan,
And to add to your suggestion, the English teachers are the ones who really know the children that can write. Mm-hmm. Not that she would just focus on them, but if they're already showing skills in her classes, she might be that inspiration to encourage more of her students to participate in this. Mm-hmm. If I can share with you, I take my younger relatives and I offer them $20 for a 1.5-page essay. I do, as we're trying to encourage them to write. I don't care what you want to write about, your shoestrings or whatever, eyelashes, whatever. Just write. Mm-hmm. And then I'll discuss it with them to make sure that they wrote it. Mm-hmm. All right?
That's a good one.
And I give them the money.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
For the birthdays.
Right.
Sure.
I make them do that, write me an essay. And I give them the money as their birthday present.
Kind of just touching on the student engagement, Bunny and I talked about this a little bit last week when we were judging the essays, of getting more of the high school kids engaged by maybe offering a social media piece, which then also touches on that public engagement, public speaking portion of it, and you're getting more at their level, and maybe then getting some.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I was surprised at the number of entries we had. And one entry won the one over at the Hope program. She wrote a paper for that and it was just beautiful. She wrote a paper for us. And I thought, well, if she knew, where were the other students?
Yeah.
So somebody had to tell her. So she found out, why didn't some of the other students, because there was only like 2 entries.
Yeah. And again, I think, when you talk about student engagement, again, I think it's also an investment from the adults also in making sure that we are engaging our students in how we're doing it. So I think there's, as we talk about, I think there's my light bulbs going off. There's some other ways that I can we can get the scholarship out, besides just sending it to the school or whatever, or even with our other contests, there's other ways to do about it. So I think when I send the scholarships out, what I'll do is I'll look at those other outside the box avenues we kind of talked about here today too, to make sure that we, are putting this not only towards the students, but also towards those adults that are tasked with making sure that, or that could help get the word out to them and get them, engaged. That's all I, yes.
Yeah, how many participants did you say again?
From, the Black History Month contest,
Yeah,
I would say about 300 to 400. We didn't end up making an exact count, but I would say 300 to 400.
really?
Yeah, when you talk about when you talk about the posters and the essays, I mean, we had literally just 60 essay entries with the 7th and 8th grade group. And then you take another 3 or 4 from high school, and then with the posters, easily, another
Yeah, we didn't have enough room.
couple of hundred, because we had to, sparse those out in categories, and then we collected those, and then did another category, and then collected those. So, between the 3 categories, easily a couple of hundred or more.
Yeah.
So I say 300 to 400 with, between the posters and the entries. So that's it for my report.
Okay, Community Engagement Committee.
I think that's Tara and somebody else.
Upcoming Events Committee.
Daryl, that's your bunny out there.
Okay, bye.
I forget which committee it is, but weren't we gonna, we were gonna participate in the, what month was that? There's some kind of a event going on. The mayor's office. I'm sorry.
You're okay. I know June's Pride Fest.
So the Mayor's Gala is next month.
Mayor's
That's
Gala is next month.
No, maybe it was Pride Fest, I'm thinking.
Pride Fest. This month is Women's Month, Women's History Month.
Women's History.
The 8th is,
They're already-
International
it's
Women's-
This Saturday.
Women's
Coming
Day on the 8th. I know that because we're celebrating our female employees here. So
Nice.
I'm well versed in that holiday.
It's at 12 noon at,
Having a,
what is it, 12 noon
putting a
at
brochure out for it.
Senior Center.
Yeah.
I guess, was that
Are
the,
you going?
I think Pride, and I think
Yeah.
back to school rally also. There's a couple of things coming up.
Back to school rally, Pride Fest last year.
maybe Pride Fest as well?
Yeah, because last year at Pride Fest, I just had a bunch of the agendas and what the commission does and the rules book down there, that was it. Social status males, he's not here. Old business. New business.
Yeah, can you give me some ideas to where we are with getting a director?
We're not getting a director.
So.
It came from the mayor's office.
Yeah, so here's what's gonna happen is, we're not getting a director exclusively. What's gonna happen is, HR department has, an assistant administrative, assistant HR director, I believe, that will serve as that quasi director for us. But we won't exclusively have somebody that's just the human rights director. I think part of their duties will be to be that director, but they'll have other duties outside that. So I know we got a new HR director. I met her yesterday, Melissa Henderson. She was an HR at the Gary Public Schools before she came, prior to coming to us. Henderson.
So what is Tatanisha?
I am not sure what is, I'm not sure. I know Tatanisha was gonna go down to the assistant position,
Thank you.
but Tatanisha might have some other things that she might take care of also. So I'm not exactly 100% sure. I haven't had a chance to really talk to Tatanisha, so I don't wanna say anything, especially in this arena too. So, I think that's where we're at. And again, I know they're looking for, who's gonna be in that role. So,
I do think, though, that if you want certain information that you're probably going to want to know, especially about putting the ad in the paper for nominating Humanitarian of the Year, my suggestion to you is that you speak with Tatanisha, since she knows, and I'm sure Melissa will be available too, but we have a history with Tatanisha.
Yeah.
Marty, do we not?
yeah,
And
no, I think
she's done this all.
Tatanisha will help
She's
us
done
no
this
matter
all.
where we're at if we reach out.
Oh, yeah, because Tatanisha already emailed me last year's.
Okay, good.
Last year's,
Yeah.
application for the humanitarian year, and she said whenever we get ready, just email it back to her with this year's date on it, and we just gotta change it.
Right, good.
Okay, commissioner comments?
I would like to acknowledge the presentation on the part of the mayor this morning. I thought it was excellent, so thorough. And I really appreciated the energy that it's going in, that has come out of her office for this year. I was just amazed at all of the development that is taking place. And I want to admit that I'm really ashamed. For after hearing the mayor say that tomorrow is her birthday, I didn't just take the lead and go to screaming happy birthday to her. So if you could join me in this effort right here to correct that wrong for not singing happy birthday to the mayor, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'd be indebted to you for quite a while.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angie. Happy birthday to you.
And many.
Love Cell.
Was you an alto or soprano in the choir in church?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Under commissioner comments, I did send out a couple letters to the committee for the conflict of interest reports forms. And if you got them, I'll take them to City Hall for you.
I already took them.
You already took yours, okay.
We were down there for the program
Uh-huh.
last week, turned them in.
Okay, because somehow from downstairs, upstairs, they got lost, so I was sent a copy of them to redo. And so far,
Okay, I'm sorry.
okay,
No, go ahead.
so far, Donnie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Human Rights Commission is the only commission that's gave a report
That what?
to the council. The Human Rights Commission's only commissions gave a report to the council.
I believe so.
The public
At the
arts,
top of my head.
Public Arts did too, yeah.
public arts, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, public arts.
There, last meeting, I believe.
No, it was meeting, we were there.
Same meeting that was there.
So it was the two commissions, so. And on the tickets, if you guys get a sponsorship, it's $250 and they get 10 tickets for a table.
Not bad. That's a pretty good deal.
So that's all I got. Anybody else got any?
Yeah, I had a couple comments. So we ended Black History Month on the 28th. The Michigan City Black History Month Committee had about 10 events during that time. I think we had a great time with our brunch as usual. A good keynote speaker. If you weren't there, it was Sister Jane Marie from Franciscan. She was actually at the hospital, the Catholic hospital in Memphis when Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. And they actually prayed with him, his body, when he came to the hospital. Some interesting facts that I learned there. I mean, just hearing her talk about the story, but that they had, I guess, looked in advance, and he had requested that he didn't go to a Baptist hospital, that he went to a Catholic hospital. So they passed 2 Baptist hospitals to get to the Catholic hospital that he wanted to go to if something was to happen to him. So just to hear her tell that story, you know, and here's a lady that has actually been within our midst. I think she served time. I won't say served time.
Right, watch it, Marty.
Doesn't sound right. But she did some of her, I don't know what you call their hours or whatever, but she did some of her time here,
Internship.
or she was here stationed in Michigan City for several years.
Yeah.
And just, you know, always, every year, especially during Black History Month, you know, because I get a chance to, I guess, dive more into the history and talk to people within our community, and like Mr. Dunlap himself, the history that we have here, people who have done things that we think that we've just seen on TV, but we have these figures within our community that have participated in those events and have front seat dialogue of what happened and can tell us those things. I was always intrigued when we talked when Mr. Williams was still alive, and he did a lot of that coordinating curating of those type of events and getting things, making sure we had the right things to do, but deal with Michigan City history. But, we talked about the patch. I mean, what a story. I mean, that story is so intriguing to me when I was on the historical committee, the historical board for the LaPorte County Historical Museum, is that when each member board member had to present something for a month. And I would always bring Mr. Williams in and we would talk about the patch. But what a story, to hear. So when I say that, I just, we have a lot of history here in Michigan City.
Yes,
And so with that, we did our movie nights here at the police department. I think we had great dialogue. Actually, I see two of our best customers or patrons here in the audience today and appreciate them. And so what the committee has talked about for years is, not just talking about Black History during the month, but to continue it. So I think two things what we're going to do. We have a Facebook page, Michigan City Black History Month Committee. Every Monday we will feature a piece of Black history. This Monday, I know I got something to ask you too. I'm glad our minds are together here, because I'm gonna talk about somebody you know well. I'm talking about somebody you know well. So this Monday we started with Mr. Boykins. Is it Oliver Boykins? Charles Boykins? Anyway, if you look at our page this Monday, every Monday we will showcase somebody with Black history.
Okay.
And next Monday, our mayor will be featured, and then I'm gonna go on and on every Monday with somebody. Do locally, if I have the information, I'm gonna do local. If not, somebody nationally. And then secondly, in our committee will meet here soon to lock this in. But we will continue movie nights at least one Thursday out of the month. I'm thinking the third Thursday. Again, here at the Michigan City Police Department, I mean, it's easy for me to host it here.
Perfect.
Since I have the keys. So,
I want to say this real quick. Bethel AME Church is having its 120th year anniversary. We are the oldest Black church in Michigan City. When I went to the LaPorte office to get the records, we are not listed. So you have to go with the history from people that had relatives that were here at that time. And it's hard to keep up with the history if we don't talk about it and we're not keeping a record of our history. Our church was built in 120 years ago as a mission church. And it started on York Street and then it went to 318 East Michigan Boulevard. We only appear on the records after we moved to 629 East Michigan Boulevard. So all those years in between, what happened? It's not in the records in LaPorte. So it's up to us to talk about our history, to tell stories to our youth and the family members to keep that history going. If we don't keep it going, it'll disappear.
May I
So,
also speak
Go
to that? I was supposed to have been a guest speaker out in Kingston Heights at my childhood church, First Baptist, and doing some research over at the LaPorte Library as well as the library in Kingston Heights. I learned that when they were building that community back in 1942, they found a mastodon. One of the elephants, prehistoric elephants, yeah. I had no idea.
Wow.
I lived out there for 10 years.
That's
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Literally and
Didn't know that.
figuratively.
But I also want you to know, speaking to the value of just remembering
Your Monday profile.
two people. I would like to recognize Ms. Cheviak, who Cheviak, she worked in the clerk's office with Tom Feder.
Yeah, Evelyn.
She was the office. She was the office, so resourceful. One of the most beautiful people, I had ever encountered. Well, aside from my mama. Just a gorgeous spirit. And I don't know if anything was ever said about the quality of work that she provided to Michigan City. I would like to, really follow up on that. But the other is that I took Russell Allen, Mr. Allen, out to WIMS back in the 80s to be interviewed. And I want to find out if they still have that. It's, again, he was an institution that really represented Michigan City in its entirety in terms of qualified, unwavering service. And that will add to your effort to find some rare
Yeah.
documentation.
Yeah. So I know in the past, like I said, when Alan Williams was alive, he was I would say our curator of, when it came to our history that we presented. He had a lot of pieces that he usually put together a display, which
Oh, yeah.
I would say was probably better than some museums that I've been to over the years. We actually do have a committee that's working on, taking his stuff and putting it into museum form. But Mr. Allen was one of the people he talked about a lot. Dr. King Solomon, you know what I'm saying? Those people were people who he talked about a lot in Michigan City. So those are some of the, things people I talk about. Some of those first and some of those people who contribute to stuff that here in Michigan City that I will look at to get information and feature on those Mondays. We will, like I said, be doing the Black Cinema Nights. We're going to look at third Thursday, so it gives me a couple more weeks to finalize it before it gets here for this month. And just kind of spinning off and just building on it so we can do Black History 365 days of the month. So
The Quakers need to be recognized
yeah,
for the role they played.
I'm gonna put you to work then. Look, you just got you a job. And so also I just wanted a couple other things outside of the Black History Month committee. I just wanted to report on. I'm looking at April, the first council meeting in April, and I will confirm it. I spoke to the council president. She said it's good verbally, but I will send her email just getting confirmation. I will present the state of the state of crime, the 2024 stats. The mayor presented it today, but we are down 17% in crime overall here in Michigan City due to the efforts of the men and women here of the Michigan City Police Department. So I just wanted to acknowledge them, but also in acknowledging them, I will also acknowledge, the different entities that have helped us get here, besides just in these walls, but outside these walls, when you talk about the city council and different members throughout other committees and just other people who supported us and allowed us to, we're at 83 officers, which we're at 84 complement, so we're one away. It seems like we've been one or two away for a while, but we're really close to being full complement, and into making sure that our people are paid a pay that's not just decent, but really good in this area. Those have been some of the factors that hurt us in the past, is that, you get areas that have more pay and, people kind of leave for money. But, thanks to, again, you'll hear us say it several times, but thanks to the city council who, helped us, get that pay up. And then also thanks to other people who supported us to make sure that our officers felt supported and wanted to stay here and stay around. So I'll be giving more comprehensive report on the crime stats. And again, like I said, we're 17%. And if you look at from last year, how the percentage we were down, I would say we're almost 30% down in crime in the last 2 years. And again, that's thanks to some efforts from, the people who work in this department on a daily basis, but also from the support that we have outside. And lastly, April the 19th, if you want to save the date, that is the citywide Easter egg hunt day. You will see more press coming out for it, but I just wanted to give the information in advance that save the date. That'll be the citywide Easter egg hunt day that will be coming out.
What day are we stuffing the eggs?
The day for stuffing the days right now is tentatively the 16th, which is that Wednesday.
Okay.
But again, thus information will be coming out more. I just wanted to give everybody save the date. And that is it for my report.
16.
Okay, any other
My
commissioner comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to, Mr. President, if I could, I just want to thank Todd Tanisha for all of her hard work and efforts directed this committee, and I wish her well in the future. I already stopped by and gave her a goodbye hug, but I think she did a great job for the city, and she'll be surely missed. So, yeah.
I'd like to second that, definitely.
Yeah.
The whole time I've been on this commission, Tatanisha has been in some role, whether it's the director or, whatever it was. And so it's, it's like, you've always knew that you had Tatanisha around. And so with her not being here now, it's gonna be different. But again, she did it. She's always done a great job making sure that the commissioners have needed what they wanted. So
Without giving the city on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to just echo that, the same thing. She was a mainstay. I've been on the commission for over 23 years. She was an investigator, I believe, when I first got on, and then was executive director, and always there to help out. A truly gift to the city of Michigan City. She did a beautiful job throughout, and yeah, I consider her a friend, and she taught me a lot, so best of luck, Tatanisha.
Yeah.
Yep.
And since this is National Women's Month, I'd like to thank the ladies who are here on our board serving. Thank you very much.
And make sure you, if you don't have your ticket, our event is this coming Saturday at 12 noon
Okay.
at the
Senior
senior center.
Senior Center, okay. And I also want to give a special shout out to Mary Ellen Quinn for being the longest member on the board.
Oh, please.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
She's like the senior
They can't,
member.
yeah, they can't get rid of me. They can't get rid of me.
Well, if it wasn't for Mary Ellen Quinn and a few others, I wouldn't be here right now.
Well, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. It's a part of my life now. It's just part of who I am, and I'm very proud to have served Michigan City, and
Well, you do a great job.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other commissioner comments? Public comment?
Not right now.
Not right now, okay. And I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
We're adjourned. Next meeting is Tuesday, April 1st, which is actually April Fool's Day. So at 12 o'clock here at the police station.
Good place to be.